Hello YouTube, Off-Grid Cracker. Wanted to film the mini split AC unit off-grid. This is an off-grid AC unit. Some people say, oh, well, I've got a hybrid system or whatever. This system's been in since 2015. It's a Hotspot Energy DC inverter mini split. This is the inside unit. The outside unit, I'll show you. I showed you earlier in the video. This is the outside unit, outside the cabin door. We're fixing to fire it up, see what it does. It's a pretty easy system to install. Normal house AC is about $4,000 to $5,000 to put in. This is a plug and play for the most part. When I say that, I mean, it takes a little bit of skill, but for the most part, if you can read instructions and hole saw through the wall to tilt angle to put your water line and your freon line and your high pressure line and your wires through the sleeve to go out, put the bracket on the wall, hang it, screw it down, go outside, plumb it in, mount that thing down the rubber gaskets, and then wire it in from the battery bank that I showed you in the video, you should be able to do it. Now, right now in here, it is extremely hot. I got the remote in my pocket. I was going to put it on fan first so we can see what it's going to be like here. Mode fan, and let's hit on. Okay, let's see what it says. We are at 90 degrees, 88, 90, somewhere in there, and it truly is, because I mean, you can see the sweat on my arm. It is really hot. But we're gonna film the inverter coming on here for a quick fan. I don't know if you can hear it coming on. Real quiet. I got TV going in the background, but fan blows pretty good. Sorry about all the mess in the floor here. Just doing some paint and some housekeeping here. Off-grid cabins are always maintenance in them. But anyway, I can change this. I can take the fan speed down. Right now it's on high, so I can actually take the fan speed and push it down, and that'll put it on low, I think. Yeah, it's on low. But let's change the mode. Let's go over to mode. I'm gonna put it on automatic, 74. Let's crank it down to 72. Let's see how fast it will crank up here. And there's also a turbo button on the bottom. Let's hit that and let's get some good AC coming in here. Really nice unit, really happy with this unit. Customer service is top drawer. You have to run this unit with the remote. So if you lose a remote, you can get another one. They're about 16 bucks plus shipping. But man, these things will cool the place down fast. You can put it on turbo mode like I just did, and you can change the air direction, or you can put it to swing, however you want to do it. Swing, it'll actually move up and down, as you can see. But it'll move some air around in here. When it runs in the outdoor cabin here, this is upstairs in my loft bedroom where I sleep. I'm actually going to stop the swing right there, cool the air that's way up in the room here, because I mean, we got the track lights on. That's in a 12-volt system. I don't have anything going on AC. So we're down here at the TV room. I'm gonna remove these out when I want to circulate air throughout the cabin. So when I want to go through the cabin, I take these square things out, so that way it circulates a little bit better throughout here. But anyway, got the voltmeter out. We got the major battery bank tore apart and rehanging more solar and doing things around the cabin. So, but I wanted to film the mini split. We're going to go outside real quick where it's extremely hot and show you the drip of the condensation coming out of the system, and it's cooling pretty quick, man. It's really nice. This system has been a blessing for the cabin. Total all in, battery bank will cost you about 700 bucks. Wiring and everything else, add another 3 or so hundred. The unit's $1,900 and something dollars plus shipping, so it's about $3 grand to put it in, but well worth it. Well worth it. I see some other people putting in Mr. Cool. Hotspot Energy was the first DC air conditioner I could find. I bought this in 2015. This is 6 years running. Sorry, I got a little stain drip on it right there from the wood, and I mean, I've had to clean it. I've had to add a little Freon. One thing I do like about the Hotspot Energy is the fact that it's R410A. You can buy that readily available on Amazon. You can buy it on eBay, and if you have a copper leak, you can solder it. I've had a copper leak before from something hitting it from a storm. You can actually buy gauges and a scale, or buy gauges and a canister and put in your own. It only takes about 2 pounds of Freon, so it takes very, very little to fill it up, and it's just a really good system. So if you get 10 or 15 years out of this thing, I mean, that's worth it for the money. And again, you have no power bill, and this is burning solar power right now off the big array out there. 6 panels, 8 golf cart batteries, 6 volt. Runs 15 hours a day if I wanted to. Today I just heated it up so you can kind of get an idea of the different functions it would do. It also will change mode to dry air. I don't know if you can see that or not. Dry air, heat and cool. So it's a heater in the wintertime. So I don't need a wood log burning stove in here, which, I mean, I don't really need it where I'm located. I'm pretty hot. But some people might need a wood burning stove, and you may not need the AC, so vice versa. But anyway, where I'm at, a heater, this will heat just fine in here, or this thing's insulated. I put 2x6 walls, 65 insulation factor in the walls, so we don't need a foil barrier roof. So when we cool down, we cool down. When we heat up, we heat up. That's the unfortunate thing. So you got to have a good AC unit or a good heat system, but it will hold it in and won't let it out. But anyway, let's go outside and see what we got going on with the mini split system outside, dripping some condensation outside, and let's see what we got. I got a panel down the ground to charge the batteries. Real quiet running out here, as you can tell. The sun in the background here, putting off a major heat, and it's dripping out of that line right there. It hasn't quite started dripping yet, but it will any minute. You can actually get a unit that will catch this heat too and heat water. Hotspot Energy makes that addition to your air conditioner if you want to grab that and add that. There's a lot of hot air coming out of the side of this thing through the fan that's pulling out of the house, and it's definitely an option to heat water, and that would make it to where you're heating water. That's the battery bank down there you see, and then I wired it up this way, and then the hose you see right here is the condensation line coming out of the unit. But I wired this thing, or if you put the heat capture thing for heating the water, you heat the water with propane, you heat the water with the sun, and you can heat the water with your AC. You'd have 3 different ways to heat water. So anything that I do in the off-grid cabin here is being efficient, because I actually live here. I'm not like some people that just film videos and put them out there. This is actually our homestead, so everything has to have a backup plan to a backup plan. That's people have asked me why I wired a 12-volt system. Why do I have 4 different solar systems in here? Well, the AC is on its own system. The house is wired NEC, and it's on its own 48-volt system, and we'll put that in another video. The 12-volt lighting is its own system, so if everything goes down, I take a car battery and run this whole cabin for lighting. So your basic necessities are met. Lighting and shelter, those 2 things are necessities. Now, I try to live here exactly like I'm living in a normal house, and that's why I live this way. I want AC. I want the thing to have lights. I want NEC wiring so I can plug in my iPad. I want normalcy. So to me, those are luxuries, but there's normalcy too in today's society. I didn't choose off-grid to be a tree hugger. I chose off-grid to reduce power consumption, power bills, live more comfortably and more sustainably, and be able to live and enjoy life without having to strap to a big, large house payment and a large electricity bill and everything else. Plus, I reduced my carbon footprint at the same time, so that benefits the global side of things as well. But anyway, that's the mini split. I think I heard the compressor come on. Let's see if it's going to. My hair's sticking up in the video here. It's dripping. It's not dripping quite yet. But anyway, it's on. It's blowing hot air. Walk back in here, see how cool it is. Hold on. Let me see the solar array out there that's running this thing. 6 panels. Look at the atrium in the cabin here, and it's really nice. This is a blessing to have this thing. It cools off the cabin rather quickly, about 30 minutes, and the temperature in here is about 72 to 74, depending on how hot it is outside. So to me, that's a good thing as well. You're running in the middle of the day, you're producing enough power where you're not pulling on your batteries. So when you get to night, you don't take very much. I run this thing for about an hour and a half at night, and then I shut it off. I go to sleep. It's so cold in here, you have to get up underneath the blanket, as you can see on my bed, and this is June. So with that being said, you know, definitely would like to have the thing not burn the batteries down. So it's but it will run 15 hours straight on the setup I got. Now you can get less panels. I don't think you can run on less batteries. Well, you can. You just have to have 48-volt system, so 4 12-volts will work. I use the Trojan T105 220 amp hour lead acid batteries that I put in that battery box down. There's 8 6-volt batteries to make it that way. So anyway, you can do it however you want to do it, but those batteries seem to be workhorses. They put them in most golf carts. If you play any golf, you know that. And it works very, very well for carrying the load of this thing. Anyway, this is Offgrid Cracker, sharing my Offgrid AC. All in, you'll spend about $3,000 if you do it yourself. If you pay somebody, you might have a little bit more money in it. My battery bank, back when I bought it in 15, which is still running, which is good, was about $580, I think I paid for that. And then the wiring's probably about $100. And then I had about $100 in wiring coming from here, because I ran 10 gauge wiring instead of 12 gauge wiring from here down, because it was a 15-foot pull. And then I used a FlexMax 80 charge controller to get MPPT. I wanted to get all the panels, because my panels weren't moving. They were stationary facing south. So I wanted to get all the power I could to charge this thing. And 6 panels. And you can buy 6 panels on eBay now used. You can get used panels, guys. So you can probably get the used panels for about 30 bucks a piece plus shipping. 250 watts a piece. Sun Solar out of Arizona. There's another place out of Miami, Florida that ships them. Just get some used panels. They'll work just fine. They got 15 or 20 years left on them. They only used 5 years because of snail trails or something. It works out to where you only got about 300, 400 bucks and 6 panels. That's very, very affordable. So people say, well, you got 5 or 6 grand in AC. No, you can do it for about, well, probably about 3,500 with the panels and the rack and everything. But anyway, it's still cheaper than a regular home AC unit replacement, and you're off grid. You have no power bill to run this. Anyway, Offgrid Cracker signing out. See you on the next video. It's been a while since I put any videos out there. Fix and start coming every week with videos, so stay tuned. Subscribe, like, send us some money on Patreon to support the channel. It would definitely help us put a little bit back into this, because I've had to, you know, fit all this to get sustainable to where we can make these videos and show you how we live. And give me some suggestions on the next videos you'd like to see. Offgrid Cracker signing out, and I'll be with you soon on the next video next week. Thanks.